Share anything from the other book?
The other book, as I said, it started because I got involved with horses full-time at a late age. I'm 67. I got Aztec, my horse, at age 65, and the lady that does my training had asked me to address the fact that she had people at 50 saying they were too old to get started. So that's basically what this is. And you notice it says Aztec Horse Tails and Unplanned Dismounts, a book of mostly true tales. So I had already written some other books. So everything in here happened, but I just couldn't help it. I had to make some stuff up. So to give you an idea of what this, and by the way, one of the chapters in it, one of the things I talk about is as we get older, we have to deal with things. The mind doesn't always work the way you want. And I wrote a chapter called Mind Games. And I submitted it to a Horse and Rider magazine, and they accepted it. So I'm getting published in Horse and Rider magazine because they could understand that. So here is something out of this. This chapter is called, I believe, The Greenhorn. So this is before I really got into that. I'm thinking, you know, in the cowboy and western movies that we see, a greenhorn can get on a horse and just go, right? No, that's not the case. So here's what I remember about my first few days of lessons. This is talking about me learning about a horse. For the first couple of lessons, my school horse, not my horse, but another horse, was already out and waiting on me. But unlike the movies, there was no saddle on it, and the animal had to be groomed. The trainer showed me proper grooming techniques, which included brushing the hair and picking the hooves. I didn't even know what that was at first. I knew what the hair was, but what the heck is picking? But brushing hair was not really that difficult. Picking the hoofs, though, was a different matter. That meant I had to really get personal with the horse, and dirty too. And there were those other concerns. What if the horse did not want me to touch his feet? Would I get kicked or stepped on? Most likely that horse had walked through a bunch of poop, and I had put my clean hands on that stuff when I put its hoofs in my hand. What if he got spooked? Did you notice I said he? To me, all horses were male back then. You just can't step in front of a horse, pick the foot up and start picking. There's a method. I was taught to stand next to the horse's leg with my backside facing his head. It did not take me long to discover why my backside must face the horse's head. Believe me, you will discover why as well, if you don't already know. And with my backside vulnerable, I was told to bend the horse's leg at the knee, grab a hold of the hoof, pull it toward me, and start digging the dirt out with a special tool, a pick. What else could it be called? So, you know, obviously that's from the perspective of someone who doesn't have any experience with horses, and I wanted to include that in that book as well.
Very fascinating. Well, Ed, thank you for visiting with us, and we wish you all the success with your books, and a good afternoon at the rest of the book festival today.
Well, thank you, John, and I appreciate the Heartland Writers Guild inviting me to this event. This was great. I really appreciate it.
Glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you.